I'm joined by D-backs pitching coach Brian Kaplan. Brian, I'm going to ask you to do some self-scouting. As we sit here today, start of the second half before us, how would you assess the job that you've done in your first half season, in your first, I guess, full-time head pitching coach job?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of us are confident that we've achieved everything we set out to achieve. Obviously not in a great spot win-loss wise, and we need to perform a little better. But I do think there is some positives to take from kind of starting around early June into July and the All-Star break. I think our starters definitely started to kind of find a little bit of a rhythm and threw the ball pretty well over the last probably month and a half, almost 2 months now. And I think that's momentum we can kind of continue to build on. Obviously, guys still want to kind of put their best foot forward. Gallen still wants to make some more consistent strides. I love the way Nelson's been throwing the ball. Thought's been throwing the ball really well. Merrill's been throwing the ball really well. Erod obviously wants to turn things around a little bit. But I think there's a lot more positives over the last month and a half from the rotation that I think can kind of get us a little bit more momentum here at the start of the second half.
When it comes to the bullpen, I think injuries have been the story of the season. How difficult has that been to navigate and frustrating? It seems like, you know, every single series another guy is going down with, I guess for the most part, serious elbow problems.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult for them. You know, that's the part that kind of gets lost. Obviously, we want to win games, but these are guys' careers, you know, and they rely on taking care of their families and doing everything they need to do to provide. And seeing these guys go down and not being able to take the field has a big effect on their futures. But, again, the guys that have come up have filled in some really great spots. We got a ton of veterans out there that have all performed in a lot of different roles. Guys like Graveman and Discofani and Woodford that have been in a lot of different orgs, had a lot of service time up here. Obviously added Trevor Richards just recently, another guy that's been around. So there's certainly no shortage of experience. And it looks like Beeks and Thompson will kind of be working their way back here pretty quickly. Fingers crossed on Shelby here in the next week or two. But yeah, I think it's a veteran mix we can definitely take advantage of, and guys that have seen a lot of baseball and been around the game enough to know what they need to do to get outs.
Was it just a really unlucky storm of events, or did you feel like there were common denominators with some of these injuries? I don't know if you felt like guys were pitching too consistently at their max velocity. I know that's a common issue when it comes to elbow problems, or are you chalking it up to bad luck?
I mean, I think a lot of it has definitely been bad luck, but there's a snowball to it, right? A guy or two goes down, other guys have to step up in roles they maybe haven't been accustomed to. A guy or two goes down, other guys have to shoulder a different workload as some of the younger guys get more accustomed to being up here. So as one guy goes down, two guys go down, it starts to affect the other guys in the bullpen, and then they have to wear it a little bit from a physicality standpoint. So it's been hard to kind of stop that snowball. Everyone's doing their best and working hard with the medical staff and strength staff to kind of keep guys on the field. Just hasn't been our luck to that degree, but hopefully things turn in that regard.
Before you took this job and the job with the Phillies as well, I know your connection to baseball was biomechanics. It was strength and conditioning, that sort of thing. Does what's happened this season influence, I guess, your belief in some of those teachings and influence how you're going to coach up pitchers going forward?
It is frustrating, I'll be honest. It definitely has been frustrating in that regard, being candid with you. I think going forward there's going to be stronger relationships because of it. You know, this part of my job is different than what I was doing in Philly. This part, I got to get ready for the lineup every single night. That's a task in itself. You know, we're worried more about the opponent, what the starting pitcher is going to do that night, and that takes hours and hours of preparation. Where as the assistant director in Philadelphia, I was able to get a little more into the weeds and that kind of stuff. So I think it's just strengthening the relationships I have with those guys off the field, the S&C medical, continuing to build the resources we have in those departments to make sure we're all aligned and better providing for the players. And that just takes time. It does require a little bit of patience, and it has been unfortunate, again, some bad luck and things that have been tough to swallow, but I feel confident they're going to get better.
How do you navigate for both the second half of this season and even the start of next season, dwindling numbers? At a certain point, it becomes like, man, I hope we have enough pitchers to get through half a season and then the start of next year. Is that a challenge that you see as well, or maybe the trade deadline strengthens some of those numbers? How do you view this time?
It sounds a little bit, of a cop-out, but it's just one game at a time. I think that's what we have to do. And again, I think that's worked. I think we're pitching better now with less less resources than we had at the beginning of the season with guys we expected to throw innings, because guys are just taking the ball and they're finding a way. It's not pretty, it's not perfect, but I think we're seeing improvements in that. A lot of that's the relationships with the catchers. A lot of it's just more time in the process and all of us getting more comfortable with each other. So yeah, would it be nice to add a couple more pieces, guys getting back from the IL? Absolutely. But I feel really good with the guys we have here in place, and we're going to take it one game at a time.
You got some good news on Shelby Miller, right? He's starting a throwing program again?
Yeah, it sounds like all goes well today. He's going to get on the bump either tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow, I believe. And he's going to push a little bit and see how he feels. So hopefully, obviously Shelby's been a big part of the success we've had in the bullpen, so hopefully things go well there.
I'll get you out of here on this. Zach Gallen has been such a fan favorite in this community, especially after the World Series run. And there have been struggles this year, but then also times that he's looked like that same ace guy that everyone here knows. And then also the chance that he's not on this team next year. How would you sum up what he's had to deal with this year and how he's trying to find what he once had?
Yeah, I mean, it's a roller coaster, I think the game requires some players to evolve and adapt over time, and the more successful you are as a pitcher, I think the harder it is to kind of see what's necessary to evolve and adapt. But I think Zach's figuring that out right now. And again, he's seen signs of his old self. He's seen signs of games that didn't go his way. But he's taking the ball, he posts, he pushes himself, he works just as hard as anybody out on the field. And I like some of the games that him and McCann have had, some of the relationships they have, conversations they have going back and forth. Hosey's done a great job with them as well. So hopefully we see a little bit better version of Zach here in the second half. I know he's put in the effort to do that.